Have you ever felt frustrated because your dreams are much bigger than your daily actions? You imagine building a successful business, writing a book, getting fit, learning a valuable skill, or creating the life you've always wanted. But instead of taking the first step, you find yourself scrolling through social media, watching videos, or telling yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." Then tomorrow comes, and nothing changes. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with procrastination. But here's something important to understand. You're probably not lazy. In many cases, what looks like laziness is actually fear, overwhelm, or a brain that naturally seeks comfort over discomfort. Researchers who study habits and motivation have found that our brains are designed to conserve energy. Whenever a task feels difficult, uncertain, or overwhelming, the brain encourages us to choose something easier and more rewarding in the moment. That's why checking your phone often feels easier than working on your biggest goal. It's not because your dreams don't matter, it's because your brain is trying to avoid discomfort. The good news? This habit can be changed. Today, you'll discover 5 simple strategies that can help you stop procrastinating and finally begin making progress. Number 1, make the first step so small you can't say no. One of the biggest mistakes people make is focusing on the entire journey instead of the very next step. You don't think, "I'll write 1 paragraph." You think, "I have to write an entire book." You don't think, "I'll walk for 10 minutes." You think, "I need to lose 20 kilograms." The goal immediately feels overwhelming. Psychologists call this task overwhelm. When your brain sees a mountain, it hesitates. But when it sees one small step, it becomes willing to begin. If you want to write a book, write 1 sentence. If you want to exercise, put on your trainers and walk outside. If you want to learn a language, learn 5 new words today. Small actions may seem insignificant, but they create something incredibly powerful. Momentum. Think of a plane taking off. The hardest part isn't flying. It's leaving the ground. Once you're moving, continuing becomes much easier. Success rarely comes from one huge effort. It comes from hundreds of small actions repeated consistently. Stop asking, "How can I finish?" Start asking, "What's the smallest thing I can do right now?" Number 2, build systems instead of depending on motivation. Most people wait until they feel motivated. Successful people usually don't. They rely on routines instead. Motivation changes from day to day. Some mornings you'll feel excited. Other mornings you'll feel tired. If your progress depends only on motivation, your results will always be inconsistent. Habits solve this problem. When something becomes part of your daily routine, you no longer have to decide whether you'll do it. You simply do it. Want to read more? Leave a book on your pillow instead of your phone. Want to exercise? Prepare your clothes the night before? Want to drink more water? Keep a bottle where you'll see it throughout the day. These tiny changes remove friction. Researchers call this designing your environment. Instead of relying on willpower, you make the right choice the easiest choice. The less effort it takes to begin, the more likely you are to follow through. Don't build a life that depends on motivation. Build one that supports good habits. Number 3, master the 2-minute rule. Here's a simple trick that has helped countless people beat procrastination. Tell yourself you'll work on your goal for only 2 minutes, not 2 hours, not 30 minutes, just 2. Read 1 page, write 1 sentence, clean 1 shelf, do 5 push-ups. Why does this work? Because starting is usually the hardest part. Once you've begun, your brain often wants to continue. Psychologists call this overcoming activation energy. It's like pushing a bicycle. The first push requires the most effort. After that, keeping it moving becomes much easier. Even if you stop after 2 minutes, you've still succeeded, because you've strengthened the habit of showing up, and consistency always beats intensity. Number 4, celebrate every small victory. One of the biggest mistakes ambitious people make is believing that only big achievements deserve celebration. You tell yourself you'll be happy when you finish the project, when you lose the weight, when you get the promotion, when you finally achieve your biggest goal. But if you only celebrate the finish line, you're ignoring the hundreds of small victories that get you there. Psychologists have found that your brain responds positively to progress. Every time you complete a task, even a small one, your brain rewards you with a feeling of satisfaction. That positive feeling makes you more likely to repeat the behavior. This is why checking something off your to-do list feels so satisfying. Your brain begins to associate action with success, instead of waiting until you've written an entire book. Celebrate writing one page. Instead of waiting until you've lost 20 kilograms, celebrate finishing today's workout. Instead of waiting until you've saved thousands of pounds, celebrate putting aside your first small amount. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates consistency. And consistency changes your life. Your celebration doesn't need to be expensive or dramatic. Take a short break. Listen to your favorite song. Enjoy a cup of coffee. Spend a few minutes doing something you enjoy. Or simply pause and tell yourself, I kept my promise today. That simple habit strengthens your self-belief. Remember this. People who achieve great things aren't motivated every day. They simply learn to enjoy the process of improving. Every small step matters. Every small victory counts. Number 5, remember why you started. There will be days when you don't feel motivated. Days when your bed feels more comfortable than your dreams. Days when excuses sound more convincing than action. That's normal. Motivation is temporary. Purpose lasts much longer. Whenever you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Maybe you want financial freedom. Maybe you want to give your family a better life. Maybe you want to become healthier. Maybe you want to build a successful business. Maybe you're tired of living with regret. Whatever your reason is, keep it where you can see it every day. Write it on a piece of paper. Save it as your phone wallpaper. Stick it on your mirror. Read it every morning before you begin your day. Because when your reason is clear, your excuses become weaker. Your purpose becomes your compass. It keeps you moving even when motivation disappears. Ask yourself one question. What kind of life will I have if I never start? Imagine yourself 1 year from now. One version of you kept waiting. The other took one small step every day. Which version will thank you? Remember, success isn't built during the days when you feel excited. It's built during the ordinary days when you choose to keep going anyway. Every successful person has wanted to quit at some point. The difference is they remembered why they started. They chose discipline over excuses. They chose progress over perfection. And they kept showing up, one day at a time, one small action at a time, one decision at a time. Remember this powerful truth. Your future isn't created by what you plan to do someday. It's created by what you choose to do today. If you've been calling yourself lazy, maybe it's time to stop. Perhaps you don't lack ambition. Perhaps you've simply been trying to climb the whole mountain instead of taking the next step. Remember these 5 ideas. You don't have to transform your life today. You only need to begin today. Because every great achievement started with one small action that someone decided not to postpone. Your future is being built by what you choose to do next. So don't wait for tomorrow. Take one small step today. Your future self will be grateful that you did. If this message encouraged you, write, I choose action over excuses in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.